human beings achieve, which is that kind of dignity and calm, and very, very proud of her as a New Yorker. So I want to thank her for her presence and for what she's done for our city, because I don't think any words can describe it. So thank you very, very, very much, Mrs. Garner. So, as the Borough President of Manhattan, I joined Eric Adams this morning. Eric Adams is, of course, the Borough President of Brooklyn, and we were at the site on Myrtle Avenue where the 2 officers were killed yesterday. Eric Adams has a lot of standing because he's a former police officer, former state senator, and now, of course, Borough President with me. And he invited the 5 Borough Presidents to join him. 3 of us were able to be there today. And we gave our respects, asked people to be calm, and expressed our sympathies with the families. And I have to say, Mrs. Garner did the same. So it's a city of great leaders, just like every single person in this room, including Terry and everybody who made the effort to be here tonight. This is a very special community that you are all part of. Those of us in Manhattan have been watching carefully and giving you, I hope, our prayers and blessings as time goes on, because it's a very challenging time. It has been in the past, and it will continue in the future. And it's about, the housing and the schools and families and neighborhoods and how we can build and how we can live together, and how the community and the police can work together. It's a very, very complicated, hard issue. I lost my nephew a few years ago, so I know what it's like to miss people and then never see them again, and to know that the pain never, never goes away. Thank you so much. Everyone in Manhattan loves you, respects you, and I speak for all of them and say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for inviting us here today.
That's my godmother. I love her. That's my godmother. And okay. Now, before I let the band play, I want to tell you about this special woman right here. And I say that because before, what most people don't know, I went to IS 293. IS 293 is a little junior high school near Gowanus Projects in Brooklyn. Now, Eric Garner was 43. I'm 55, but I have a younger brother. My younger brother is 46, which means just by the zoning, my brother went to school with her son. Okay? Now, I want to be very clear. Miriam, can you please come up here for a minute? Miriam, please. Okay? And I say that because why did I have to put her son on the back of my shirt? Come here, Miriam. Come here. Okay? You see, I had to put Eric Garner on the back of this shirt. Now, Eric Garner was a friend of mine, and everybody in Staten Island knows if you got off the bus on Bay and Victory and you needed a cigarette and you only had $1, you might buy a cigarette for Eric, but he wasn't selling cigarettes that day. The cops just recognized him from past experience. He broke up a fight that day. He didn't sell, if he was selling cigarettes that day, where's the marked money? Everybody here knows about a buy and bust. Where's the marked money? They don't talk about that. So I say to you, I don't mean to get radical, and everybody's here, and I appreciate all of y'all for coming here for my event. But we could have 50 political advocates out here. And even Gail Brewer, she's here. But nobody has felt as much pain as Mrs. Gwen Carr, the mother of Eric Garner.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I thank you all for coming and supporting the Garner family. It gives me great pleasure to know that so many people stand with us. And it's not just the black community, the white community, the Asian community, but all the communities. And this is what we need to do at all times. Not just when there's a crisis. We need to come together before the crisis. so that we can help one another. And my family appreciates you, I appreciate you, and we are just so pleased to have you stand with us, because you didn't have to do it. You could have been anywhere else tonight. But I thank you all for being here and for supporting me, my son, and the whole family. And God bless you all.
Something that we want to bring your attention to, that Erica Gardner has been encouraging. There's a song that's being popularized on the internet. Samuel Jackson's been singing it. I encourage you to go online and check out this song. There's a bunch of people in Hollywood and famous people leading the charge. You should Google Samuel Jackson. It's a very beautiful tribute to what's going on. It's really putting a nonviolent message and getting our struggle out there, and getting awareness out about the increasing violence we're facing in our neighborhood and NYPD is facing. So please go online and check out Erica online. She's now on Twitter. Just Google her, Erica Gardner, it'll come up. Join us online.
And like he said, I need you to join us online as well. Everybody, I'm sure, this is 2014, everybody got a cell phone here, right? Yeah. Everybody's got a cell phone? So I need you to go to NAAPS.us. If everybody can pull their cell phone out right now and go to NAAPS.us and you see what we're doing. Now, I want to say something because there's a lot of ladies here. I see a lot of females here. Okay? Now this campaign, where's the shirt, Skip? I need a shirt. This campaign is against police brutality. But let me be very clear. We are going to stop the demonization of Planned Parenthood because nobody in Kansas can tell you what to do with your uterus if you're a woman. And we're going to stop this shit. Now, I say that because in 1893, if your husband went to war and he didn't come back, you had about a month to find his brother, his father, his whatever, the next male of kin, because a woman couldn't own title or property. She couldn't own title or property. So Planned Parenthood was started in conjunction with the suffragist movement so that women could have bank accounts, they could own property. If before that, say your man went to war and he didn't come back from the war, guess what? They put you in a nunnery, put your kids in an orphanage, and you lost your whole property if you didn't find the next male of kin. So, I say that because they ain't gonna fuck with us in New York. You know why? Because of that woman right there, Gail Brewer. She ain't gonna let them fuck with your uterus right. And the ACLU is right up the block, and they don't want that fight. Because we got the best lawyers. Ron Cooney's my lawyer, and I'm not scared. But what about Virginia and Texas and Georgia? Okay, I'll keep it real with you. And don't get mad at me for being so crass. I sleep with black women. So therefore, back in the days, if somebody had a problem and they didn't want their mother to know they were sleeping with their boyfriend, they could go to Planned Parenthood and get birth control or get a shot if they call it STD. You understand what I'm saying? But all I want to say, and I'll shut the hell up, no white man in Texas has a right to tell you what you do with your uterus. And I'm done. Oh, that's right. All right. We're gonna start the show. Now, listen. We have a little table in Williamsburg where we sell those shirts and we raise money for the foundation. I'm out in Williamsburg and some woman came up on me and she said, I don't like the cops either. And she told me a joke. I almost fell to the floor. She was so funny. Now, this woman runs the Washington Washington Square Park under the Arch Comedy Jam. And after she made me laugh like that, I said, well, Christy, I'm gonna make you a part of my show. Okay, so we're gonna start the show with the comedy. Then my band is here, Sacred Justice. They're gonna perform, and then Ty Blizzy Black, who made the video that we did at the death site of Eric Garner. She's about to show up. She's late. I took her to Philly last night, and I gotta say this, Temple University, and I'm from Philly. They call, David Ruffin is my uncle. Gail knows that, but what I'm saying is, they called me, they said, we're gonna demonstrate in Philly. They had 250,000 people in Philly last night, and I loved it. And that was sponsored by Temple University. So, since it's time for me to shut up, and let me bring to the stage Miss Christy Bellis. Miss Christy Bellis.
Just to take care of me. He joined the military to take care of me. I'm the only person that he's had in his life that he's had to take care of. And if something were to ever happen to my dad, under any circumstance of authoritarian situation where my dad's sticking up for something that he believes in, I don't know what I would do. But the reality of the situation is, the humor and the irony is, I'm a little white girl from right outside of Washington, D.C.
Really?
And I can get out of any parking ticket or speeding ticket I want just by taking my voice up about 10 octaves and getting tears watering out of my eyes. It might be funny, but when I get pulled over by the cops, it's called white girl syndrome. And it goes something like this. Something like there's thunder in the background, there's a drum. There's always a drummer in the car with me. But if I just go to a cop and I'm just like, oh my God, I get out of a ticket. I get out of a ticket just because of the way I look. So fuck the cops. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Because at this point, it's funny to say that there's no racist cops out there, and there are racist cops out there. And in the situation that's going on right now, all I can say is I try and figure out some solutions to the problem. So my solution to what's going on right now is we should make prostitution legal across the board. And have people go out, kind of like with jury duty, and go out and literally fuck the cops before they go out on duty. Be like cop fluffers, you know? Instead of bringing donuts to cops, you actually dough their nuts, you know what I mean? I'm a comedian, I'm not a murder preacher. But that's the thing is we would provide prostitutes with a pension, find Desiree on the corner and be like, girl, I got a job for you, and we're gonna take care of you, and we're gonna make sure that you have health care and a dental plan, and you're good to go. And I would even do it too if I knew that would provide police to be put into a meditative state before they went out. These are just solutions that I think of. But basically what I'm trying to say is, what if, like a lot of people say lizards are in the government, right? Like people are like, oh, there's the reptilian species in the government, right? But what would happen if, like, as a people, for some reason, lizards evolved among us equally, right? Like completely 100%. Like politicians came out and they're like, hey guys, we've got a secret for you, right? And all of a sudden they just unzipped. They just unzipped and they're like, oh, we're like an iguana is your boss, and his name is Ed. And he drives like a Honda Civic to work, you know what I mean? And he's just like, hey Ed, what's up? And he has like a 401k, and he has like a pension plan. What would that do if we had this species that was like completely different from us, just equally, cognitively around us? Like what would that do? Like at that point, we would have to like band together as people, because it wouldn't matter if we were black, white, purple, green, it wouldn't matter. We'd have this whole other species. We'd be like, it wouldn't be racism, it would be speciesism at that point. It'd be like, oh my God, like scales and a tail would be an actual thing. Like it would be like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, people would be like, wait a second. We all look different, but we all think the same. You know what I mean? We all think completely the same. I don't know. It'd be a thing. Like it would like change things across the board. Like chameleons, for example. Chameleons could be whatever color they want to be. But at that point, what would it be? Would we say to chameleons, oh chameleon, because you're different from us, because you're a different color, oh, you can blend into the pavement, chameleon, go to the back of the bus? Would we say that to a chameleon? And then they'd go like marching in the streets and you'd be like, hey chameleon, fuck you. I don't know. I think it's all a matter of perspective. For example, I live near a heart hospital, and I saw like a helicopter landing on top of the roof. And the first thought that went through my head was like, there is a little kid that's going to get a heart transplant today. And I thought of this kid that was going to get a heart transplant. But then I thought back to like, where did this kid get a heart transplant from? And I thought of like, maybe he got a heart transplant from like a swim team captain, you know? And he was just in his family's car. And he was just with like a healthy heart. Like one of those like, you know, sort of vegetative state accidents. And all of a sudden, this little kid that had an unhealthy heart was given a heart. You know what I mean? So who's the winner in that situation? Is it the kid with the healthy heart that died, or is it the kid with the unhealthy heart that got the heart? I don't know. It's all a matter of perspective. I think I'm from Washington, D.C., and I was recently there. And I saw that there's like this veil across the system, right? And for me, I was thinking about in 2008 when I was in the Department of Defense and I was working on $80 million contracts with monkeys. And what I used to do was I used to actually make money for people that would send bombs overseas, right? And what I would do was I would stick like needles into monkeys, and for the purpose of deciding whether $80 million is well spent to send bombs overseas. And what I did find out was if you actually bomb a place, people die. And that's what I found out. And that's where our money's going. It's all a matter of perspective. At that point, Obama was about to be elected, right? And hope and change was crossing across the screen. Hope and change, hope and change. What is hope and what is change? Well, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Who are we as people? Are we the horse or are we the water? Well, I'm looking at that now. You know what I think, you guys? I think we're the water, and I think Obama was the horse. We can lead him to us, but we can't make him drink. Water is our particles, molecules that move together, directed by the moon, which the light of the sun reflects off of. But the waves of the water are the waves of change. The waves of change are us. And it's up to us to decide how those waves of change go. We can create heavy waves that crash into the system, that take it down, or we can be little lap pools. Do waves mean violence? No, they don't. The way that I create waves is creating art that sometimes makes people angry. Today, I'm not doing the regular comedy routine I do because I feel like this is an important situation to say that I'm part of those waves, but all of us are. When Obama was elected, he gave us hope. The Illuminati is something a lot of people talk about. A lot of people reference it in music. I used to help write rap lyrics when I moved to New York City. A lot of rappers used to say, hey, look at this YouTube video. I used to get YouTube videos sent to me all the time, right? Hey, watch this video. Look at how this politician is looking down and to the left twice. Does that mean world domination? And I'm like, I don't know. He's kind of looking down and to the left twice to me. I don't know. But I was thinking about what the Illuminati meant. Because I was thinking back to my job with the monkeys that was $80 million a year. Who were we trying to save? Ourselves? And who are the ourselves that we're trying to save? Who am I trying to save? And then I thought to myself, you know what? You know what I think the Illuminati is? Scared, rich, white men who want to protect each other. That's what it is. It's not my dad who started at the bottom of the bottom, joined the army, and is at the middle of the middle coasting. It's somebody at the top of the top who's greedy and who takes the waves away. So what's my point to all of this stuff? My point is, even if we're not on the streets, the death of Eric Garner, the death of Mr. Mike Brown has led me to go into a comedy club till 3 a.m. I work 16-hour days. I work days and I work nights. And I'm not stopping because I feel like the waves of change are up to us. So, thank you guys for listening to me. And I hope you guys have a good night. God bless.
Thank you.
Isn't she great? Christy Bellers from Wall Street, Washington Square Park, open mic. Why is this mic keep cutting off on me? Kevin, what's the problem, man? You're supposed to be my music director. Why do I have this problem?
We hear you good. We hear you good.
All right. Anyway, okay, I'm about to turn it over to Sacred Justice. Where's Gary Siani at? Where is he? Yeah. Gary, where are you?